My worst experience is accidentally catching the webcam button while I was going to the toilet. I took my laptop with me. Luckily, I turned it off immediately, but they saw some pants around the ankles.
That's amazing.
So I discovered on my work laptop, I've got a Mac. For some reason, me and my boss, who also uses a Mac, we had weird effects happening on our webcams. Do you use a Mac?
Yeah.
And you use Teams? Do you use Teams? Or actually, no, I think it's just a Mac thing. There's a little expressions thing you can turn on.
Yes.
Or off.
Yes.
I didn't know this. So basically, anytime I raise my arms, like if I was to stretch, like party balloons would fly at the screen.
That's a Teams thing. Yeah, it's awful.
We were having quite a serious conversation about something, and I stretched, and then a bunch of like fireworks and balloons started going off my webcam. I was like, wow, that's a bit inappropriate.
So the point of it is if you put your hand up, it realizes you put your hand up, and then it does like the raised hand thing, which is it's just saving a button click, whatever. But I get it.
Oh, I didn't know he did that as well.
Yeah.
All I've seen is like fucking fireworks and.
So we were in a meeting, and like yours, it was really important, and we were getting some really bad news about a campaign, and one of my creatives like reached up to like touch his face, and it just started like fireworks like going off everywhere, and he was just it was good because it was like levity in the situation. But yeah, it's not great, but yeah, you can turn it off.
I finally figured that out.
Yeah, I like the chaos of it.
Yeah, I'm glad, because it used to happen, and everyone would stop what they were doing and talking about and focusing on that, and me and my boss didn't have a clue how we were doing it.
The worst is when it registers you as putting your hand up when you didn't, and then you get called out, and then you get called out for having your hand up.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that's just Teams being fucking weird. Yeah.
I hate that. There's keyboard shortcuts as well that do things on Teams that you don't expect.
My favorite is always it's not a feature, but the person who has their camera off but overreacts with the emojis that pop up over their profile picture to be like, I am here, I am listening. It's perfect. It's peak work from home remote Teams like behavior.
My worst experience is accidentally catching the webcam button while I was going to the toilet. I took my laptop with me. Luckily, I turned it off immediately, but they saw some pants around the ankles.
That's amazing. I haven't got anything that bad. Oh, I have one which was, I think I've been posted about this before, which was I was on a meeting, I was presenting, and Chewy walked in as he's prone to do whenever I'm on a camera. And he kind of walked in and he just threw up on the floor and just looked up like with his like blank expression on his face. And I was presenting, I could just see it in the corner. I was like, oh no, but I was presenting and couldn't stop. And my dog just looked at me like, I'm just thrown up. Help, Dad, help.
So good.
Yeah, so that's not as bad as on the toilet, but pretty.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah. I hope nobody said anything, so they were just being nice. I don't know.
So good.
Oh, speaking of being nice, speaking of throwing up in the corner, let's throw up in the corner into the intro. Hello, welcome to episode 27 of the Magic Castles podcast, a magic podcast about castles. I am Tom, aka Overfiend with an X. This is Adam, aka Adam GCB.
Hi. One day you'll get the intro right.
Yeah, I like
Not
it.
today.
We go with it. It's about castles, whatever. How are you?
I'm good. It's okay. I'm. What's it like? What? There's got to be like, there's like a German word for everything.
Yeah.
What is like the German word for being mega productive in face of like great anxiety? Because that's basically what my day's been today. My driving test is on Monday. And today I've done like all my chores, took the dogs out, like been super productive and like other aspects.
It's like the opposite of procrastinating, isn't it? Because you're doing things to not think about the thing that's coming up instead of not doing things.
It's like I'm doing everything else just to like not worry about it. But yeah, otherwise I'm good. How are you?
I'm much better now. The gameplay episode's out.
Yeah,
that was a weight on me.
Yeah,
and oh man, when I uploaded it and sent it to you, and you were like, "I think we've been copyright struck," and there's no the background music just stops, and then I checked and it did, and there was no reason for it.
It's because it was like because I was watching the first edit in bed, so I had headphones in, and I was listening to it like semi loud, not too loud, and then I go, I'm playing Wolverine, and it's just dead silence. And I was like, that can't be right. Oh no, what have they just already content aware like the X-Men theme? Because obviously it's a really recognizable theme. And I was like, oh, that's really strange. And then I think it's like the intro after we, I can't believe the exact moment, but I'm pretty sure the intros have the theme music, and then as soon as we get to gameplay, it goes into the other one. And then I think we go like, and we start, and then just there's dead air. And I was like, this is weird. And then there was no sound effects. And I was like, okay, I think there's something wrong with the audio. So that was a fun one. And I did want to message you at like 11:30 being like, Tom, I don't think there's any audio.
Oh no, it was fine. I was up. I was panicking.
But yeah, it's fine. I think it's good. Episode's out now. We will put a card or something if I remember to do it. And we'll probably put the link in the description as well.
Go and watch it.
It's good. I think it's really well done. We're getting lots of positive feedback around it. We know about the audio. We are going to fix the audio in episode 2. It should already be way better from what we've looked at.
I think we did the audio anecdote last episode, didn't we? I went over the audio issues. So
we had the mic wrong. Mm-hmm. It was a pain in the ass to fix, and then also it was a pain in the ass to boost everyone because, like I said, me and Tom were really ill during that recording session. So Tom had to cut out a lot of sniffing. But yeah, I think what you managed to salvage is a really good presentation of kind of just like, this is going to be the energy going forward on these shows. So
I don't know if we mentioned it last time either. The vibes we want is we just want to play with our friends and people we know, and not have it like a forced, like, you know, like we want everything to be natural and feel real, and just like you're watching a bunch of people who know each other play a game, rather than, you know, who the hot new guests who we don't know anything about. Or
I think there's a couple of reasons for that one. Right, we're not in a position to ask for anything, so that helps. But also, it being shot currently at your house means you have to be comfortable with that person stepping foot into your house and knowing where you live, which is scary for a lot of people. And it's so much easier if the energy is just natural. And that comes across on camera really well. I think, you know, you having done this for a while now and having done like video shoots, it's really, and not just Magic, like video shoots, brackets, general, it's really easy to tell when people don't know each other and like you're forcing it. So I think that familiarity and, you know, having people one that we are close with and would hang out with outside of Magic, I think is incredibly important just for you should feel comfortable watching and feeling like you're birding a pod that is happening right there and then between friends. And that's the kind of energy we're going for. So, and I think that comes across well in the stuff we recorded so far. This does probably mean there will be repeat guests at some point because me and Tom only have a finite amount of friends that we trust for this process. And also, like, it's not for everyone. Right, like being on camera, playing Magic on camera, is so different to playing Magic normally, and then also playing Magic off camera whilst having a personality is tough as well. So, yeah, I think we've done all right.
Yeah, it's good. I think my problem with it was that I'd been staring at it for 6 weeks, and
art.
It was
that's just art. in general, right?
Watching it back, it's a lot better than I thought it was at that point. And yeah, I did watch it all the way through, and it's when the premiere, I sat and watched it all, which was great. I think I actually managed to enjoy it. Yeah. Watching it like that.
I'd forgotten everything that happened apart from like the end, so it was quite nice to actually go back and watch it. Just because I'm pretty sure I was like hopped up on meds that time. So yeah, we'll talk more about the kind of game and choices and how things came to be in a bit shortly. But yeah, please go watch that on YouTube. Like I said, we'll leave a card and the episode link in the description. We've set up a playlist as well, so you can follow that playlist and episodes will drop into that. While you're here, you should like and subscribe. It really helps us out. The
gameplay's on this channel. The podcast
gameplay will be on this channel. Podcast will be on this channel. Yeah.
Adam's been stealthily going through everything, removing podcast. So it's just the Magic Castles now.
Yeah. So our general branding will say podcast still for now until we decide not to mix it up, but we've already got a lot on our plate. And I think the podcast is going to be the thing that kind of grounds everything anyway. And there's obviously going to be, most of the time, it's going to be 2 episodes of the podcast a month and 1 gameplay a month. So the podcast is still the bulk of what we're going to be doing. So yeah, for now anyway, we'll keep the general branding podcast. So don't come at me with, but all your social banners say podcast. Yeah, we know. But the channels will say Magic Castles. Where we could get the Magic Castles, because there's a psychedelic rock band in California also called the Magic Castles, and then there's the venue called the Magic Castle. So we're having fun with that.
I will admit our SEO on YouTube is pretty good. I just searched Magic Castles and we are like 3rd or 4th on the list, so we're good.
Good. That helps me a lot. I didn't want to run into a mansplaining situation.
Yeah, it's not as bad as those guys, thankfully. Although they're beating it now. I would have. They're ahead.
They're doing it right.
So it's good. It's good stuff.
Should we move to Upkeep?
Yeah.
This will mainly be you talking, which is going to be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
So how was Beyblade? How was your big Beyblade tournament?
Oh, my God. So, yeah. Regular viewers will know that I am very into Beyblade. I'm deep in the Beyblade hole now after my Christmas present. So I went to a tournament 2 weeks ago, I think it was now. Was it last weekend? I can't remember. Maybe last weekend.
Last weekend, because I was at the zoo and looking at pictures of you playing Beyblade.
There you go. Yeah, so it's last week. God, it's been a week. Yeah, so I went with my mate. I just got him into it, got him a budget deck built, and he entered as well. So we got to, it was Griffin's Gaming in Erdington, which is crazy because that's where I used to live in uni. So it was weird going back there. If I'd known that place was there, or it might not have been there actually when I was at uni, I would have bought a lot less beer and a lot more cards. They've got a Tekken machine in there, a Tekken cabinet. It's sick. So good. And
what Tekken? Sorry.
I think it's 5.
Okay, 5's all
right. But yeah, really good as well. The store, they had Beyblade stocked, which was nice. They had like blades in the arena and stuff, and decent Magic selection as well, which is nice. So I might have to go back and check it out when I'm not Beyblading. But yeah, 27 people entered. There were 3 like small children, so not enough to have their own juniors thing. Right, so they kind of entered as well. Yeah, it was a lot of like groups of people who like friends had gone. But by the end of it, we were all, everyone knew each other, and it was a really good group. Sadly, there was only 1 judge and 1 table set up. They had 2 stadiums, but they only had 1 judge. So it took a little while. It was like 5 rounds of Swiss. Normal rules, so first to 4 points. So they did 5 rounds of that to get a top 8, and then we had a quarter semis finals. But yeah, me and my mate both got through the top 8, which was nice. And then I faced him in the quarters, which really sucked because I wanted to at least get into the semis with him. I beat him, and then I got into the semis. I got through the semis, and I was in the final with Sicko, who I met on Blue Sky. Weirdly, we've been talking for a little while, and then it turns out that they're Birmingham. They went there. They entered the tournament, and it was me and them in the final. So that was really good. Sadly, they kicked my ass. But yeah, second place in my first event.
Not bad. Like,
No.
it's nothing to be ashamed of.
And my mate, who I think he bought like 30 quid's worth of stuff. He got 5th place, I think it was overall. So, so both the first and second prizes I already had. Sicko wanted the second place prize, so we traded, and then I ended up giving mine to my mate, so he's got something extra for his. But yeah, really good fun. Energy was great. Everyone was like hyping each other up and like getting into it, and just really cool. Met some really cool people, and yeah, getting more into that. So that's really fun.
You said there's only one judge and one arena. Does that mean every match has to be individually played?
Yeah.
And how many rounds were in Swiss?
It was 5 rounds of Swiss.
So everyone played 5 games before the top 8?
Yeah.
How long was this tournament?
It was, I think it started at 12 and we finished at like 5:30. It was a long one. It would have been a lot better with 2 stadiums.
Yeah,
but
why is it not like simultaneous? That's...
it can be, but yeah.
Wild. That's wild to me.
It was also their first Beyblade event, so they're kind of... But yeah, really cool. There's a few more coming up. Weirdly, I've noticed that. So I didn't put this together, but Beyblade in the outside of Japan is Hasbro.
Yes.
Who own Magic.
Yeah.
What's he send out all the prize stuff, and for actual WPN stores, which is WPN stores are the WBO. Is it WBO, WB3, whatever, the Beyblade official stores in Japan. Their equivalent outside of Japan are the WPN stores.
Okay.
So they get all the stuff, all the actual products sent from Wizards, and you use the companion app, the Magic companion app, to track your Beyblade games, which is just wild to me. I guess they've already got the infrastructure, so it makes sense. But it's just, it's just so funny.
It makes no sense to switch the infrastructure. So when you log into the companion app, can you say, I'm here for Beyblade?
I guess so. Normally in events, you get like a little code, don't you? To put in? I assume it's like that. This one wasn't a WPN store, so they didn't have. Okay. They didn't use the app, but I am going to one soon that does use the WPN.
So I'd
assume that'd be interesting.
The way it works is TO generates a tournament that gives you a code. Everyone puts in that code. It just says, "Yeah, you're here for Beyblade." It's fine. Okay, it makes sense. And yeah, like I mean, WotC are just very good at shipping things out, right? So kind of also makes sense that they handle all the goods and services end of getting toys to people.
Yeah, like the guy, I saw a picture of the guy who runs Wayland's Forge, is where the WN tournament's going on, and he just had a box of product, like just Beyblade starter kits, which isn't a great price for somebody who's obviously...
That's a bit weird, yeah.
But I guess it's good for like getting other people into it. But yeah, so Beyblade, good, loving it. So it's so much fun. I can't explain how much fun I'm having with it. I need a Beyblade Secret Lair now.
But how
crossover? I want a Jace Beyblade.
So what is the monetization track beyond just them selling more Beyblades, or is that just it? Like okay. So there's no like individual parts or anything like all that is just in case. Okay. But
like certain parts are locked behind certain sets and things like that. So there is that. But yeah, it's not as heavily monetized. They are like constantly releasing new sets. Like there's a big new thing coming out at the end of the month where they're adding like instead of 3 parts, it's 5 parts now. So there's that coming out. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, like the design space, right, must be so limited. Whereas like to keep it within regulation, to have like, it's not like Magic, right? The reason why Magic works and is so good is because of the engine. Whereas like the Beyblade engine is just 3 interchangeable parts. Like how deep can I actually? I mean, I'm trying to go pretty deep, but like you're going to run out of design space pretty quick.
The weird thing is now that these new 5-part ones are a lot taller because there's 3 parts to the blade. So the other parts are a lot smaller. But now the thing is, you could take those smaller parts and put them on an original blade, so it's even lower than before. So that's going to be a new element of like counterplay and things like that. Like, do you go super low and try and get more attacks in? So yeah, there's that. But anyway, this isn't a Beyblade podcast. Let's talk about Magic. We're rambling. I've been dabbling with some decks. my beloved Leonardo da Vinci deck has had some upgrades. I was digging into Aether Drift, and there's so many good cards in Aether Drift for Leo. So he's had Stridehanger Automaton, the one that makes Thopters when you draw a card. Great for Leo because you tap him, draw a card, discard a card, you make a Thopter, whatever. What else did I get? The Omni Tool. I really like that in that deck. It's like a cranial plating, basically, but lets you dig for artifacts as well. Incredible. The Monument to Endurance, the discard, because again, you're drawing and discarding with Leo, so that's really good. I also put in the pod? What's it called? My brain. Repurposing Bay.
Okay, yeah, that's
so I
nice.
can like pod through my deck for, Portal to Phyrexia, stuff like that. Yeah. Really cool. There's been enough upgrades from Aether Drift that it's like refreshed the deck again for me, and I'm really into it now.
I think Aether Drift will go down as the set that boosted blue-white artifacts.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the strongest archetype for Commander. Looking back, like, that's probably stuff for Sophia. Like, there's some green. There's some green +1/+1 counters stuff. It's pretty loose. It's not great, but like, blue-white artifacts definitely got a boost with Aether Drift. Whereas I think some of the other kind of archetypes and color support is not great or like not memorable. I'm sure it'll be like 2 years time. Oh, where's that from? Oh, it's from Aether Drift. So okay, cool. But
that's been happening a lot lately, though, hasn't it? There's been a lot of like 6-8 months down the line, this one card from old set becomes really good with other things that have been released. So
I think it's just like as we're seeing a pushback to all decks being kind of homogenous and people pushing decks into like, this is what this archetype does, and like I'm seeing a lot of less like good stuff Commander decks in the pods I play, and it's very much like this is a streamline strategic approach to like this deck building. I think like when a set comes out that just has support for that archetype, you'll just see it boosted slightly. So like blue-white artifacts and Aether Drift, obviously clues and murders like is the big one. You see pop up a little bit as well. But I think we're going to see just less like rate and value and staples, and it's more just like this makes sense in this deck because it does the thing that I'm already trying to do. So it's new Capenna commanders usually one that everyone jokes about, right? Because those commander decks were absolutely busted, and you see it a lot of the time. I think murders you'll be one that you see a lot. I think Duskmourn actually, like the amount of just good stuff that applies to specific strategies in Duskmourn was really, really high. And I don't know if that's just bias, people I play with, but I see a lot more like Duskmourn stuff than like, I don't know, like Bloomburrow I think is too narrow. That's the other thing. It's like Bloomburrow, like the kind of like typal stuff, I think is not that kind of bulky stuff we're going to see more often. But yeah, it's weird. Oh no. I think also people just like 6 months down the line go, I wonder what was in that set, and then just look at Scryfall and pick stuff out and pick up for cheap because no fucking set has value anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been doing that a lot, going back and just grabbing stuff from old sets.
Yeah.
But yeah, this all these new cards when I've drawn them in Leo, they've just done so much work. Like I got the Lotus as well in there. It's just that deck is becoming very, very nice. And I picked up today at the card fair a Darksteel Forge finally. So all of my Thopters are indestructible, which is lovely.
Can you get that reliably? You must be able to, right?
Yeah, War of Invention. I've got ways of tuning for it and stuff. So it's just a nice thing to draw as well. You top deck that, it's a pleasant day because I can play it for 3 mana, which is fantastic. Chisei got some upgrades as well in 2020, 2025. What's going on? I put unstoppable plan, the untap all your non-land permanents.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's so many little intricate little doodads and artifacts and stuff in that deck. So being able to do that on everyone's turn, on other people's turn, is great. And the one card that I was really hyped about in the set, the Aetheritic Amplifier, I've put that in. I haven't drawn it yet. It's the one that lets you double counters on.
Oh right, yeah.
But I feel like there is definitely some shenanigans that are going to happen when that comes down, because this deck it's very dice twiddly, and just being able to double all the counters on a certain thing might make me have infinite turns.
Yeah, that's 4 to play, 3 to tap.
Yeah, 3 to play, 4 to tap.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot, but this deck's
a lot.
3 to play, 4 to tap. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. But I think also like useful-ish as a finisher. I don't know, maybe. But is it any counter on a permanent?
It's target permanent, yeah.
Oh, only one? I thought it was all. Oh.
It's all types of counters on target permanent.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's a lot. But yeah.
It is.
But there's no other effect that does that, right? So it's kind of like if you want that effect, that's the only way you're going to get it.
Yeah, and this deck is a weird thing. So
fair.
It's one of those things. But yeah, that was me. I've not really done much else. I've got a few stream appearances coming up. Actually, one will have happened by the time this airs, which is my Pauper EDH game with Brazen Coalition. So that'll be fun. So hopefully you check that out. I guess I'll talk about the other one next time. So what have you been up to?
Nothing. I did all my admin, finally.
Very good.
That's like my month of admin, which is great. It was one of those things as well. It was like once I had sorted the cards out, it was just a case of like getting them into folders. The one thing that is fucking annoying is, so I know these are just normal binders that all stood up. I couldn't get any more of these. They're sold out. These Voltex ones because I just need binders. So I had to get like this, which is actually not bad. This is like it's like a Voltex like zip portfolio binder thing. It's not bad. Okay. The problem is it's too fucking big, so it doesn't fit in a kallax, which is really fucking annoying because this is what I have. So, that was like 400 pound of decks that just fell over. Right, so I have to put it this way, which is just not great. But then I don't want to put it on the spine. I don't want to put it really on that either because it's not supported properly. So I don't know what to do. And I can't lay it flat because kallaxes are squares, so it doesn't really fit that way either. It's just a fucking nightmare. So yeah, I tried to put it. It's not ideal, but do you know what? It's fine. I need to try to put it in that way again. That's annoying me. But yeah, so I've just been doing admin. Spongebob, who will make an appearance later, can go back. Oh my god, I knocked over everything. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You know that meme where people drop something and they're like, oh no, and then they show their shoes off. This is you doing this for your new new cardie.
Oh no.
Give us a spin. Give us a spin.
I've got headphones. I'm wired in. Rip my PC out. Yeah, so mainly just admin. The issue I'm having right now is the gameplay records take up a lot of my mental space and arranging skills, but also like magic time. Like I don't want to take the piss with my loved ones and be like, oh yeah, I can't give you attention. I'm going to play Magic. Sorry. So it's fine. And also like people have been away and it's that kind of time of the year where like weather's starting to get nice. So less people are like, I'm home playing Magic all the time. So yeah, no playing, just admin. And then I've got to tune decks for our next set of episodes. That's the big thing that's been happening a lot actually is like I go, okay, what decks am I playing for a gameplay record? And then let's tune those to make sure they are more camera ready, more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one of the things that I've learned from like Command Zone, where they're just like, if your deck just sits there doing nothing for like 4 turns, you're not participating in the episode. Like, so you need to make sure that your decks are, you're doing stuff and you're playing cards. So that's been like a lot of like reducing casting cost, more in like kind of single target removal and like interaction has been a big thing. I think it's making my decks better. The problem is it's probably making my decks too consistent and too good, to the point where, because I don't want to tune them to the point where it's only me doing stuff during the gameplay record. That is the other very, very fine line that you need to cross, which is you still need to be kind of level with everyone. But I want to make sure that I'm not just like pass go, rampant growth, pass go. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a rough one. But yeah, nothing from me. I had put in an energy counters episode here, but because it's 6 o'clock, I don't want to do like a live energy drink taste test.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
we'll save that for next time.
I might save this for next time.
Yeah.
So spoilers, Monster released juiced Rio Punch, and I'll drink it during not an evening where I can go to sleep at some point.
As far as energy counters goes, though, I'm discovering the sugar-free monsters, because it turns out they don't have the chemical in that breaks my stomach. So that's nice.
Yeah. There's a new one this year, I think, as well.
Ooh.
I think
I want to try the strawberry one.
The strawberry one's sick.
I want to try that.
Me and my wife buy the case, and then there was a point where you could only order one because it was a new product, and it was a issue of much strife of how many strawberries have you drunk? You've drunk too many strawberries. So
yeah, I need to get my hands on some.
Rio Punch is the new one. It's okay. We'll talk about it next week. Cool. News. Let's talk about news.
News time.
Let me move things away so I don't spoil the episode. Move this over here. Sick. Cool. I forgot to put this in show notes, by the way. So, because we didn't talk about this last week. Because this happened, as always, as we fucking stopped recording last week. So we're late. But I'm going to talk about it. Because I want to talk about it.
I think it happened while we were recording last time.
I'm pretty sure.
Like,
we finished recording. I looked at my phone and just saw the words Spider-Man Magic the Gathering cards revealed. I was like, great.
I wonder what's happening now. Something's going to be happening now, because it always is.
Yeah.
Damn. Minecraft ass.
Oh, right. Go away. I hate you. Cool. So last week we finished recording on Sunday, and then Wizard, who puts out news on a Sunday? Also, that's like not cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
Because like people have to report on this shit for a living. You're making them work on a Sunday. Not great. Anyway. Marvel and WotC drops the Spider-Man gift box, whatever, scene box crossover, I guess.
Yeah, scene box, I think it is.
Yeah,
because they haven't just revealed all the Final Fantasy stuff.
It was kind of wild how close this was to Final Fantasy, and also not at Chicago, but whatever.
Yeah, it was relentless this week.
Yeah, so. This is a scene box, which is a product they do for the UBs where you can put them together, make an image. The cards always look bad because they're not meant to be siloed off properly like that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate galleries. Cool. So, Sensational Spider-Man, which says to me there's going to be way more than one Spidey, because Sensational is the B Spider-Man book. So Amazing being the kind of main line, and Sensational being like a secondary book. And then there's obviously loads more, because at one point I think there was 4 ongoing Spider-Man titles. And then they switched Amazing to like 3 times a month as well. Like, it was crazy. Most comic book issues are monthly, or even five to 6 weekly as well. So the fact that they were pumping out like 3 Spider-Man mainline issues a month is nuts. Anyway, sorry, I can rant about comics forever. Sensational Spider-Man is a 1 white blue legendary creature spider human hero. It's free with whenever Sensational Spider-Man attacks, tap target creature defending player controls and put a stun counter on it. Then you may remove up to 3 stun counters from among all permanents. Draw cards equal to the number of stun counters removed this way. Cool. So
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it. It's really, really clear the power level of this stuff is like low rate. But this is all thematics. Like, so this is fine. This is obviously like he's webbing up and then, you know, cashes in on the web and draws cards. Sick. Venom, a Deadly Devourer, is a symbiote villain for 2 black and a green. It's a 4/4 with Vigilance and Menace. Has an activated ability that costs 3. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on target symbiote, where X is the exile card's toughness. Fine.
Yeah.
What I'm also notice, what you'll also notice on these is they are guild color pairings, and they really talk to those guilds kind of themes. So Spider-Man being Azorius, and it's very like you're arrested. And then Venom being very Golgari. I think this is them going, we're not going back to Ravnica for a while. Let's give the people some Ravnica, but in a Spider-Man kind of dressing. But then also, if at any point they need to reskin these, it's really easy. Because they're just Ravnica cards.
Yeah.
Doc Ock, Evil Inventor, is an 8/8 human scientist villain for 5 blue and a black. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target non-creature artifact you control becomes an 8/8 robot villain artifact creature in addition to its other types. Cool. Fine. And then he is paired with Grasping Tentacles, which is 1 blue-black for a sorcery. Target opponent mills 8 cards. You may put an artifact card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. This card is sick.
Yeah, that's
really good. Nuts. I also like this because they can just reprint this. It's not at any point. So if this does become a bit of a staple, which I think why wouldn't you play this in any sort of like Dimir artifacts list?
Even
in general, just like Dimir. Dimir Mill, general. Yeah, Dimir Mill. Like 8 is like a reasonable rate. It's not huge, but it's like decent. But the being able to distill any artifact is kind of nuts.
Just thinking about my Anawan Mill, there are cards that I can't remember the name, but there's one specifically that's like if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, it gets like I can't remember the name of it. It's one of the
like opponent threshold kind of stuff, right? Yeah,
and that's 8 cards, and that just hits it off the bat, which is nice.
I don't like the art for this card. Green Goblin Nemesis is 2 black and a red. Legendary creature, Goblin human villain, has flying. It's a 3/3. Whenever you discard a non-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on target goblin you control. Whenever you discard a land card, create a tapped treasure token. I think the effect's actually fine. It's cute.
I like the effects.
Yeah, the art is just... And I don't know if I'm being really harsh, because I showed this to Stacey and she was like, the art's fine. And I was like, nah, this guy's done like... So Dan Dos Santos is like a really good artist. He's done magic art before. He did the cool Stoneforge Mystic, where it's shot at like the different perspective, where she's like holding like these 2 swords. To go from that to like this, I don't know. I try not to be like too disparaging art, because you never know what's going on with people, and we're all humans. But Green Goblin is like one of my favorite villains.
I mean, it is like the background really, and it's been cut out. So it's.
I hope there is another treatment for this card. That's all I'm gonna say.
I like it. a goblin commander. It's all that kind of rules.
Yeah, and very easy to make this again as a Ravnica goblin. And they are
actually it's a goblin human. That's
they can
the
just be
worst.
like,
that's the weirdest part.
They can just be like a mutant in pain.
Yeah.
And then Green Goblin's paired up with Pumpkin Bombs, which is a artifact for 1 and a red, which reads: tap, discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, then put a fuse counter on this artifact. It deals damage equal to the number of fuse counters on it to target opponent. They gain control of this artifact. This card is fun.
Yeah,
Really cool. I think it's interesting that the non-character cards are like the most interesting. I guess that just talks to the power level of those cards, and these are the cards together. These scene boxes always look weird. I don't know. I'm not the biggest. Like, I didn't know on the Lord of the Rings ones if I just wasn't a fan because it was Lord of the Rings. But seeing it on a property that I like, I'm a bit like, I don't know.
It's one of those things.
So tight. Like,
yeah, it's nice in concept, but I don't think the execution really works.
Because like if you play Grasping Tentacles, there's just a foot
yeah,
hanging out on your card art. Like,
you had that in the Lord of the Rings ones, though. You'd have like Gandalf's arm just poking into the scene, and it's just like I got those mostly because I got hit with the FOMO, and But yeah,
Oh, you get free boosters in the box. Didn't know that. That's why it was so fucking expensive.
Yeah,
I bought this, by the way, because of course I did. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, and then
got that FOMO, baby.
Yeah, and then the pre-orders went live. I bought that. I bought a bundle and a normal booster box.
Yeah,
as much as I want to buy a collector's boosters box, even though you can barely find them anywhere, places are charging like £400 for them.
It's ridiculous. It's insane, and
that's just I don't think like I'm going to need anything that desperately that I just won't buy in singles. I will say I rescind my comment about the 1 of 1 being a symbiote Spider-Man because I've changed my mind, which I think it will be. I think it will be the
Web shoes.
I think it will be a Spider-Man. It will be an Amazing Spider-Man, and it will either be the issue of Amazing Fantasy, like he debuted on, or Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 as a comic book art.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's really cute, actually.
Yeah. I think that's probably what they're going to do for these.
Yeah,
because it drives the most mainstream association. So yeah, that's Spider-Man. For now,
also no commander decks. Welcome decks instead.
Oh yeah, no commander decks. Interesting.
It's a standard set,
but like, interesting.
Yeah,
but Final Fantasy standard, right?
Yeah,
that's commander decks.
Yeah, I know. I just think I said this to you. I think they're just trying to funnel the comic book fans into standard first rather than commander first.
Potentially. The other thing as well, we don't know what the licensing deal is. There's probably commander decks for Marvel down the road anyway. And I'd be shocked if there was not some sort of Spider-Man Web Warriors, Spider-Verse version of that pans out that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we don't know what the deal is, right? So it is straight. I was legitimately shocked by that. I was like, but it's an opportunity to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, going from one amazing media property to another, the SpongeBob SquarePants secret lairs were revealed. So there's 3 secret lairs currently.
3
revealed. One is reskins of existing legendaries with SpongeBob art. One is reskins or new art for cards.
Reprints.
That's what I was looking
spells.
for. Tired, dude. Reprints of spells with the meme art, which is we'll get into in a second, and then basic lands. Which they need to stop doing the basic lands.
Well, are they doing it like the like that last land set where you got 10 of each, whatever it was?
That's Chaos Vault, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it is. So we'll see. So I'm not going to run through the reskins too much, but there's one that's quite funny. Gary is Toxrill. Which
should have been Gary. I get it, he's not legendary, but hey.
Yeah, I can't zoom in on Collider, I'm sorry. Yeah, I kind of like it. I think it's kind of funny.
It is funny, but
yeah. Do you know what? We will run through them quickly. I'm not going to read what the card does, which read what the reskins are. Plankton is Skrelv, which is really funny. Mr. Krabs is Charix.
Charix, I need that flag on there.
Just a crab, yeah.
Yeah.
Squidward is Grazilax.
Yeah, that's actually a sick reprint.
It's a weird one as well that they're just like, it's like 2 universes beyond like cards, but whatever. That like
it's a CLB, I think, right?
Yeah, it's Baldur's Gate. So a strange one. Gary, like we said, it's Toxrill. Sandy is Toski. I guess. I don't hate it. It's just, isn't Toski meant to be like a god?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's fine.
Or god adjacent, at least. I
do like the this spell can't be cowed, indestructible attacks is very, it plays into Sandy's character, I guess. Patrick Star is Barktooth Warbeard, which is hilarious. And people are like, why is he just a vanilla 6/5? I was like, it's because he's dumb as shit. Like that. Like, what is wrong with you? It's funny. These, like, people who are looking for value in the SpongeBob Secret Lair drop need to get a grip. Jesus Christ. And the SpongeBob is Joda the Unifier, which I don't like because that means that I'd have to play Joda. Because I really want to play SpongeBob because I know it will annoy people. I love SpongeBob. I don't want to play Joda.
Yeah, Joda's
just so busted. Like maybe make it just like vanilla legendaries. Oh no. But even then. And then the meme drop is Counterspell, Daze, Inevitable Betrayal, Force of Despair, Night's Whisper.
I need that Night's Whisper more than anything.
Oh, it's so good. The only thing is, if you Wizard, we know you can do the meme text because you made me buy a secret lair with it. You made me. Why is it why is it not on these cards? I would assume it's because it's the bonus card is going to be this counter spell with the meme text. If it's
it'll be.
What do you think it's going to be?
The sponge guard, whatever it is. You know, when he's like the caveman, he's like,
oh, what could that be though?
That'll be
FUD.
I don't know. It's got to be that though, hasn't it?
They have the technology to do the meme text because
they made caps.
Yeah, because they made me buy this fucking card with the good art with the bad text on it, and now I'm buying I'm buying the good memes with the bad text on it. Like, it's wrong. So there's my two feelings here are it's the bonus card, or they did it and Viacom Nickelodeon said no. Because when you work with brands, if you work for a brand and you ever do partnerships with another brand, it's the worst experience in the world. So that's my only thought is maybe they wanted to do it and then Viacom Nickelodeon said no, which I could see because those people are probably out of touch. And then there's a food token, which is a Krusty Krab. Krusty Krab. I'm tired. So yeah, there's a food token, which is grey. And then there's the basic lands, which all feature Gary.
I kind of like them.
They're really, really cool. They're very reminiscent of the Fortnite ones, which are also sick.
Yep.
So yeah, I will be buying all of these. I don't care what you say.
I got to get them.
The Knight's Whisper is so good. So good. And the counter spell as well. It's this is perfect.
I've run so many of the creatures as well already, so
yeah.
This is going to make me put Toxrill back in Skeleton Ship, maybe.
Yeah, I kind of, as much as I like mechanically unique Universes Beyond, because most of the time they're treated with good care. I'm fine with SpongeBob being slop, honestly. Yeah. As a fan of the property, I'm okay with it being just a bit off. But yeah, these are fun.
That Charax is going to be so good in Plagon. Can't wait.
Are you going to put the days in there as well? You got to put the days in there now, though.
Yeah, maybe.
That's so good.
Yeah. I guess I could make space.
Cool. So that's news for now. I'm sure as we stop recording, they'll drop.
Oh, yeah. Loads of stuff's been announced, I'm sure.
Yeah, Secret Lair teased something. So we'll see. Cool. And then I haven't got a main bit because we were really, really against it trying to get the episode 1 live. So I've literally put in our show notes. Let's talk about episode 1.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably talk about less from production side, more from a gameplay.
Yeah.
Point of view, because I think people are sick of us whinging about production.
Oh, the audio there, man.
So, episode 1 is out. It's live. You can watch it. I would say, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched episode 1 yet, warning, here be spoilers.
Yeah,
so
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah,
go watch
pause this. Go watch episode 1. We'll wait.
Yeah, we'll be right here.
And then you can come back and watch or listen to the rest of this. I think that game was a lot of fun. And that's not because I won. Or not just because I won. I think the decks were in a really, really good position. I think it was a good match. I do think it was I think that this is just going to happen with Wolverine now. Is Wolverine sets the tempo for the game.
Oh, yeah. It was the Greaves that really flung you ahead.
Yeah, so yeah. Even by terminology, right? When I went to equip the Swiftfoot boots, I went attempt to equip Swiftfoot boots, and I was like, if Wolverine doesn't die now, the game is warped around. Adam has a hexproof Wolverine and will keep 2 mana up at all times. So my biggest worry was Eve playing some sort of edict effect. So that's why I was just like, I need to find a guy. So that's why the Freeze Stride Lookout came into play. That's why Nerif came into play. Because I was like, it's not optimal plays. I just need something in case I get flashback mortared. And I'm like, get rid of this and not my massive Wolverine. But yeah, I think the overall tone of the game went well. I think Wolverine is just fast and can have quite... He's a snowball commander, and if he's not dealt with, he will command a game. I will say I was very lucky peeling. So the turn I played Walks of Rage I drew it that turn. And I think I had the Chantress Ignition in hand. So, because I think the turn I play Nerif, which is after the Walks of Rage, you can see me put 5 mana aside and go, oh wait, do I have regen mana up? And then move regen mana to the over, and then I play Nerif. So yeah, I will say it didn't really showcase what I want the deck to do, which is mainly fight stuff. It kind of just got big and then raffed the board twice and then killed everyone. But yeah, I sometimes you just play the cards you're dealt, and in my case, it was holding regen mana up and raffing the board twice to win. What were your feelings on that game now, watching it back or having watched it 1,000 times?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was the Wrath that kept putting me back. I was building up to something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I did have some things in my hand that I was kind of trying to work towards. But yeah, getting Wrath a few times really kind of put the brakes on me. But yeah, I was mostly just trying to remove the right thing at the right time. I think. I think I took two things out. I had two exiles.
You took two of Tristan's things out after they hit me for like 15.
Yeah, because I needed you to take Tristan out. That was my hope was that you were going to take Tristan out, and then because he was going to threaten you losing, and then we could have tried to figure out a way of dealing with, the rest of the game after you were gone. But yeah, if you didn't have that Chandra's ignition, it would have been a lot different, I think.
Yeah, so that the turn, because I think it goes what's the background called? I always forget.
Noble Heritage.
Yeah, so Noble Heritage triggers. You and Eve take the deal. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm put down to 1.
Yeah.
And then that puts us in a situation where Tristan is they are so ahead on board.
Yeah.
You and Eve can't do damage to them. And if Tristan untaps, he just wins. Well, they just win, right? They win with quite a board. So it was... I think you were... it was a weird one, because I can't believe that you just... I can't believe that Eve didn't kill me with a Vigilant Flyer when I had nothing.
Yeah,
that was my biggest thing. But I think she was going off the fact that you kept me alive.
Yeah. I do think if we killed you, Tristan would have just killed one of us. I think that was the thing.
Yeah,
keeping you alive gave him, because he had to kill you, because otherwise you were going to kill him on the next round table.
We were just in the last turns of the game, right?
If either of us had killed you, Tristan had so many gnomes and stuff, he could have just swept one of us off.
Yeah.
And neither of us wanted to give it up. But it was so funny though, that end turn where Eve had 1 mana short of a rise, which would have, I think, won. I think there was something in the bin.
Ferref, yes, because no.
I can't remember what was in the bin, but
for me it was Free Strider Lookout and Ferref. I can't remember.
Yeah, she had a bunch of stuff in her bin that was.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything that could give her haste or the reach to do 1 damage though. I think that was the thing. Because she had the Overlord. Is it Overlord? Where it comes out kill something, but Wolverine had hexproof.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was actually anything she could have done.
Did he have trample at that point?
No, but I had a throw in hand.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I just flung Wolverine.
Yeah, I think it could have blocked and then gone for the attack after, because Mirko had died as well, so he had to come back out.
Oh, he did have trample because he had the monstrous roll.
Oh,
and Rancor. He had double trample. Yeah, because after I played that game on stream where Wolverine had no trample effects, I went in and put trample effects in. Yeah. It literally, I didn't even have a Kessig Wolfrun in that deck. And I played it on stream and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? There's no way of re-game over. Like,
just bouncing off 1/1s.
Legitimately, I think I did like 120 damage to a 1/1 with Berserk.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think we were just naturally in the last turns of the game and everyone's life was so low at that point. There was a misplay and no one's caught yet. I don't know if to say it yet. Or not even a misplay, just bad game state tracking.
It's just so much to keep track of when you're recording. It's so much to keep track of.
Yeah.
Magic's complicated, but when you're recording a game,
you're like, because your head is not in trying to keep a board state or whatever correct. Your head is like in how is this right for the record.
Yeah,
and you can't just hope that your muscle memory and then kind of understanding of how the game engine works is enough to kind of coast through it whilst you're producing something. Yeah. So
And we don't have judges. Everybody else has judges. We don't have judges.
We haven't got anyone kind of keeping track. So yeah, no, there's one instance where Tom doesn't take enough damage, but that's it.
Yeah.
So I think it's the combat trick where not even combat trick. It's time where Ice with Wolverine, and you block with a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I monstrous rage him, so he goes up by 3. I don't think he has a cower on him at this point. I think he's just a 2/2. Yeah, he's just a 2/2. So Wolverine becomes a 5/5. No, a 5/3 with trample, and you take 4 when you should take 8. But it doesn't matter, I don't think, because when you die to a massive charge recognition anyway. So
yeah,
maybe it changes how like you play defensively, but like is 4 life really going to change?
No, I went down from like 28 to 0, so it's
I think you're like near 20. I think you're like 19
really
ish. Yeah, I have to check. I have to run the tape and check it again.
Yeah, it didn't change much.
I think it's fine. I don't think it would change much. I think there was also a thing where Tristan plays something that gives him something with Ascend.
Yes.
And they say, I don't have the city's blessing. I don't have 10 permanents when they have like 8 lands, because lands counts to the city's blessing, which I did think was weird. I was like, wait, how do we miss that? But it's just one of those things when you're recording, you're like, you know what your deck does, right? Like that's the other thing when we're recording a lot of time, it's like, you know what your deck does. And
yeah.
So yeah. I don't think it would have mattered too much.
But the vibes we're going for is just,
things like they're not perfect games. They're not meant to
just
be,
hanging
right?
out. Hanging out.
Like it's just it's production. People are on camera. People are cutting jokes. Like energy's good. That's what matters. And if things get missed, they get missed. Yeah. But yeah, I'm surprised no one's caught up on the you not taking the correct amount of damage. And then the city's blessing one is more egregious because Tristan says, I haven't got the city's blessing because I don't have 10 permanents. And then the camera's hard zoomed on their board state, and you can clearly see they have like 15 permanents. But I can't remember what had the benefit.
It was the Lord of the Rings sword.
Oh, that's why I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know that. It was from the picture. It was from the scene box as well. That's the best bit.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. So
yeah, I don't even know that exists.
Yeah. What I do. So yeah, I think it was a fun game.
It was good.
Annoyingly, you guys probably won't see the second game. The one where Tom's camera died halfway through. Because that game is nuts, but I actually think it was incomprehensible for camera.
Yes, it was. That was Tatsunari I was playing, and it was wild.
I had the most egregious Sophia detective engine I think I've ever had.
Oh God, where your board was just, it was, you needed another playmat.
Yeah, I had a lot out. At one point I couldn't literally, I think I even say like I can't put any more permanents out on my playmat because it's just got it when you're putting counters and stuff, and each one's a unique instance of a thing. It got excessive. So
I had 4 mutate stacks and a copy of one of them, and it was just like
it was a lot. And then was Eve playing Winter as well?
Yeah.
So Eve had like delirium trackers going on. It was
and like finality counters, and it was a lot.
It does mean I'll play Sophia again on camera, which is nice, but
it's a learning experience as well. Like, would I play Tatsunari? I don't know. It's fun, but
I think the mutate is the thing that makes it like harder to read on camera.
Yeah.
As well.
Also, that was the first time I played that deck, which isn't great, and we don't do that anymore.
We don't do that.
I was excited
because that's the other thing now. Is like initially, it's interesting how the deck building part is such a big like part of this, because I used to build decks obviously just for casual play and then spell table. So it's like, okay, I'm not doing like theft effects or like villainous wealth, or Gonti comes out of every deck that I build, because it's just I'm not telling two grown adults to don't look at your computer screen for 5 seconds so I can look at someone else's cards. So that's our change to, this can't be too complicated because I've got to play it on camera and it's got to be comprehensible when zoomed in on an iPhone. And explain to, and I've got to explain it to not only the 3 people I'm playing with, but also everyone at home, and walk through all those kind of actions. So like that, it is an interesting development, and okay, this is how I need to build decks now. At least the ones that I'm going to bring on camera.
I think like Cathar's Crusade style effects as well don't work. I think add loads of counters are very hard to pass to the viewer. Yeah,
so I don't think I play Cathar's Crusade in any list anymore anyway. I think it used to be in Geared. And then I took it out because I was like, well, it's just a lot of the times win more.
Yeah.
Unless you're in like a white weenie go wide, but then you're, adding way too much bullshit. So yeah, I think episode 1 was a lot of fun. Episode 2 will stay in the vault forever.
I think episode 3 will as well, if I'm honest, because the nightmare I had with the audio.
I think that's fair.
And Tristan is an absolute legend and would love to come back and would love to have
you
back.
We will have Tristan back.
Tristan rules.
Tristan will be back for sure. I think also from a deck builder's point of view, they're pretty aligned with what me and you do, which is half of the battle with this stuff, is trying to find people whose kind of deck building matches similar levels as well. So yeah, I think you'll only see that pilot. And if Tom had his way, you probably wouldn't have seen it either. But we mentioned the first episode a lot in that episode, so that's why.
I don't think it was as bad as I was thinking it was. It was just because I saw the guts and the gore and the weeds of it, and I think we've salvaged it.
Yeah,
and it's a pilot. It's a first episode.
Exactly, it's a pilot. It's fine. So yeah, next episode will be in a month, I guess.
Out there, yeah.
So that's
we recorded 3 games. Did we do 3 games?
We did 3 games. I think I've got to remember now.
2 of them are useful. I think the last one might be a bit. The energy might have been a bit low.
Yeah, we were really tired.
Yeah, it was a light one.
Yeah, I think the first 2 are usable. So I know some good games as well, which also means I get to bring Volo back, because that Volo was what I played in the third game, and it was dead. So yeah, we've also learned, I think it's 2 games. We're going to record 2 games a session, and if the second game or the first game is really short, we'll do a third. If they are normal length, we will just do 2.
Yeah,
because
I think 2's fine. 3 games is so much.
It's rough, dude. But yeah, it's a lot. Anyway,
and I also think we need to start. We had this conversation earlier. I think recording little bits with the guests, some more like behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and
we need more
bits. Will be fun.
We should do party box stuff. That's the other thing.
So we need to get some sleeves.
She's whatever. That's match.
I don't have 300 sleeves.
I probably do. I'll bring sleeves to you. I've got a bunch of sleeves here.
We could just make another big team order. Those sleeves are sick. They shuffle on par with Apex. I'm going to put it out there.
That's wild. I think I've got some sleeves around. I'll see what I've got, and I'll send you an update. But yeah, I've got 300 somewhere. Cool. But yeah, that's episode 1. I think if you're into that kind of power level, that's probably what it's going to be at. I don't think we'll be pushing anything above bracket 3 or 4. I think that's our wheelhouse, right? 3 and 4. I don't think we'll ever get into 2s. I don't think we'll ever get into 1s.
I might, but
yeah, and we're not a CDH show, so.
Although my dumb decks are actually quite strong, really. If they get off the,
I think you'd be surprised. Like, I think it's actually quite hard to make a 1. Honestly.
Well, I mean, 1 is just like, this is my chairs deck, or this is my
ladies looking left.
Yeah, feet deck.
Hat. Yeah, fancy men wearing hats.
I think that's quite easy now, though. Hats deck is probably quite.
Oh, Hats has been a thing for a while.
Yeah, no, but I think it's a 2 now.
Do you?
We've got a lot of modern hats. There's a lot more hats flying around these days.
Murders at Cardiff Manor was very good for hats. So was Outlaws.
And Outlaws, that's what I mean.
Yeah. It's probably quite easy to make a hats deck be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Should we move? As you can tell, doing these episodes, doing the gameplay records has killed me and Tom. Right.
You may have noticed there's been a lot less shorts lately.
Yeah.
There'll be more.
Should we move over to Sicko Zone?
Let's go.
I've seen what you've done.
I've been waiting for this. I had this ready last episode, but pulled it.
Sorry, everyone. I shut all my tabs.
I need you to make sure you go to the earliest printing of this first.
Oh, okay. It's one of those.
It's got multiple erratas. It's been changed multiple times.
Awesome. Wait. I know what I'm doing. I've only been doing this for a year.
If you open the revised one, I think it is first.
Cool. And then share my screen. I'm sorry, guys. Look, right. Leave me alone. Cool. Revised first?
Yeah, let's do revised first. So my entry to the Sicko Zone Hall of Fame is illusionary mask.
Yep.
For 2 mana, it's an artifact. It's got. So I'm going to read it on as it is on the card first. So this is the revised edition or the limited edition. It's a poly artifact. It's got X. I need to take a breath. You can summon a creature face down so opponent doesn't know what it is. The X cost can be any amount of mana, even 0. It serves to hide the true casting cost of the creature, which you still have to spend. As soon as a face down creature receives damage, deals damage, or is tapped, you must turn it face up. So you know me, I love morphs and stuff. So this is right up my street. I actually found this when I was looking for cards for Zimone. So let's just pass this. You can summon a creature face down for X. You can pay whatever you want for X. Doesn't matter. And as soon as that creature deals damage, receives damage, or is tapped, you flip it. But also the wording is like, it's any face down creature.
You can summon a creature face down, so the opponent doesn't know what it is. Okay, so we can say you can summon a creature face down.
Yeah. So let's just say Kozilek for
The X cost can be any amount of mana, even 0.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
It serves to hide the true casting cost of this creature, which you still have to spend.
Yeah.
So that's saying to me, you can spend, and this is me using like a decade of playing Magic the Gathering. So if it's a 5-drop, you can spend at minimum 5.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as face down creature receives damage, deals damage, or is tapped, you must flip it. So that's how you know you've paid the right amount, right? So
yeah. So you can pay more to like.
You can pay more to be like, oh, it's actually
this.
It's actually this, but why would you?
Well, it serves to hide the true casting cost of the creature.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, flip us over to the
international.
Let's go to the Magic Online Theme Decks version.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this is Illusionary Mask, 2 mana artifact. X. You may choose a creature card in your hand whose mana cost could be paid by some amount of or all of the mana spent on X. If you do, you may cast the card face down as a 2/2 creature spell without paying its mana cost. If the creature that spell becomes, as it resolves, has not been turned face up and would assign or deal damage, be dealt damage, or become tapped, instead it's turned face up and assigns or deals damage, is dealt damage, or becomes tapped. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. How did they think that was any better?
So what's happened here?
Yes.
It is because it's not put it into play.
Yeah.
It being a cast means there's so many more fucked up things now because you're casting a face down spell, which doesn't happen. Because morph isn't a. Is morph a cast or is it an ability?
Morph's a cast, yeah.
Morph is a cast. But because everything has the same morph cost. Yeah, it's like slightly easier. But also like the engine can now accommodate that because it's a keyword and we know how to deal with that, whereas this isn't. Yeah, this is fucked. Okay.
And then so the errata, the current text is X. You may choose a creature card in your hand whose mana cost. Oh, it's the same. Never mind. Oh.
No, this is different.
Is it?
Yeah. Yes, because now there's. Oh, is it no? No, it's not.
No, it's the same. I think there's another one where they did it differently.
Let's have a look. No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, sorry, Masters Edition 3 is different. It's different.
Let me go back one. Where's Masters Edition? Is this one?
No, the next one. So Masters Edition 3 is X. You may put a creature card with converted mana cost X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, face down as a 0/1 creature. Put X mask counters on that creature. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. The creature's controller may turn the creature face up at any time he or she could cast an instant by removing all mask counters from it. This effect ends if the creature is turned face up. This is the one I wanted. What's that about?
It's mask counters on this creature. So this card's been errated 3 times?
Yeah.
Same art though.
Well, it's been errated twice.
Oh, they've done the weird 30th thing where like they've just punched in and made it like smoothed it out.
Yeah.
Vaselined it.
So yeah, what's this about? This is fucked, right?
This is fucked. Yeah.
The mask counters. Why did you put X mask counters on it?
I think it's to track that it's a face down creature.
Why'd you put X counters on it?
Oh, but so to know how much mana you've actually spent on it. So if you were lying, you have a record. That's the only way, right? So you put, if you sneak in a 5-drop, you put 5 counters on it, and then you sneak in a 6-drop, put 6 counters on it, because otherwise you can be like, which one's which? Like if you ever move them around, you'd be like, which one's which?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think that's more from a tracking point of view, which is not a neat solve at all. Yeah. Well, this is fucked.
It's the only card that adds mask counters, I believe. But yeah,
so you can move them around with a Ozlith. Yeah.
Remove all the counters on it and flip it face up so you can flip it at any time.
Do you know what's really fucked? I actually think this is the neatest version of this card.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I do think the weird templating at the end is very odd, where it's like if it would deal damage or become tapped, or he's dealt damage, then it deals damage, becomes untapped, or deals. It's such a weird way of.
So the errated version, which is the current version.
Yeah.
X, you may choose a creature card in your hand whose mana cost could be paid by some amount of or all of the mana spent on X.
So that's just a nicer way of doing you've got to at least pay the amount of the card.
Yes. If you do, you may cast that card face down as a 2/2 creature spell without paying its mana cost.
So we've gone to the 2/2, we've gone to morph.
If this creature,
0/1. Yeah. Also, it's worth noting, in the unlimited one, it doesn't have a power toughness.
Is it not?
No.
It's just a face down card.
Just a face down creature, yeah.
Doesn't even work. If you do, you may cast a card face down as a 2/2 creature spell without paying its mana cost. If the creature that spell becomes, as it resolves, has not been turned face up and would assign or deal damage, be dealt damage, or become tapped.
This doesn't make sense, right?
Instead, it's turned face up and assigns or deals damage, it's dealt damage, or becomes tapped. So that's basically like if you would change the state of it in any way, it flips.
And that's after, yeah. I don't know if the creature that spell becomes as it resolves.
But wait, also, if it comes to okay, so it doesn't say combat damage; it means damage in any way. So if it blocks, it flips basically. So if at any point it interacts with the game in any way, it flips.
It's just the weirdness of if the creature that spell becomes as it resolves.
Dude, I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's fucked. Yeah. I'm just trying to like work out how it mechanically works, which is not very well.
Yeah, I kind of want one. But
this is fucking high, by the way.
I know. I saw it and I was like, holy shit. Also, look at the art. The art's amazing.
I think the art's actually
swirly-eyed ass.
Yeah, the art's good. So what it's trying to do is hide something
First of all, Morph way ahead of its time. Let's be real. Alpha? Morph was in Alpha?
Yeah.
Hello?
Face down card in Alpha's fucking bold. You can summon a creature face down. The problem is I'm reading it like I'm going back in between versions and each version's different. So my mind is just like fucked.
I also love how they were like, all right, Amy Weber, you've just finished Time Walk. We want you to do this.
So yeah, Illusionary Mask in the first 5 printings doesn't actually work technically because it makes what is a face down creature power toughness. Yeah, okay. This is really high. This might be number 2.
Oh damn! Really?
I think it is that high.
It's the double errata that really gets me, and
it's trying to fix thing. Like I'm a sucker for they tried to fix this card. Yeah. That is the quickest way to my heart. I sure.
I just want to go back in time and see someone play this, and I want to know what the face down creature is like.
Yeah.
What is it?
In my opinion, this is number 2.
Like I mean, I'll take that. I mean, I guess the face down creature having 0 power toughness doesn't matter because the second it does anything, it gets the power toughness. So there is that, but it's got to sit there as it technically can't exist as a nothing.
Yeah. It doesn't exist on the game state unless that was errated, right? That's the one.
I mean, it becomes a 0-2. It becomes a 0-1 in the first real fix to it. But
but that's what I'm saying is unless that was unless that as a general rules was errated at some point, but it took them until Masters 3, I guess. That is easy number. I don't know how I've not heard of this card before. We've been doing this for a year now, and no one suggested this fucking monstrosity.
I think I found this. I was looking for cards that added weird counters.
I mean, yeah. Like the fact that they've tried to fix it with like the fact that the face down creature had no power toughness, then was a 0-1, and then became just a morph. The fact that
the wording, I
love the wording like if it does this, if it does this as it's resolved, like it's just.
I like the little bit that's like in the first one in Alpha where it's like this serves to hide its casting cost. I love that. It's like
fucking
it's
legal. God,
reserve list though.
No, ban it. I mean, it's not actually that expensive. Like you can get you can get one for. Don't spend $123 on this, but you
they're a lot cheaper in Europe as well. Yeah, I have looked.
This is fucked. Yeah, this is I legitimately good find. This is easy number 2. I think Camouflage beats it because Camouflage. Actually, wait.
Oh man, have I done it?
Wait.
Yeah, because the original reason Camouflage was number 1 was because of the smooth boy, wasn't it? And this boy's been smooth.
It was more because they just couldn't work it out, and like the original. For me, it was the original printing didn't actually work.
I mean, the original printing of Illusionary Mask.
Yeah, that's the issue now.
Ooh, okay. Now we've got a game. We cast a spell during your
Yeah.
So camouflage for audio viewers. Audio viewers, yeah.
Audio viewers, my favorite people.
It's 1 green. You may cast a spell during your attack. Declare attack as step. This turn, instead of declaring blockers, each defending player chooses any number of creatures they control and divides them into a number of piles equal to the number of attacking creatures for whom that player is the defending player. Creatures those players control that can block additional creatures may likewise be put into additional piles. Assign each pile to a different one of those attacking creatures at random. Each creature in that pile can block that creature the pile assigns damage to. Piles can be empty.
The only thing is, illusionary mask.
Mm-hmm.
Each time I read it, I kind of get what it means. Like it's bullshit, and it doesn't work. But I can kind of I go, okay. I kind of get it. Camouflage. I've read this card like 10 times. I still don't fucking know what it does.
I get it.
It's basically like you attack. Whatever. Anyway,
you split it into lanes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. Man,
it might be number 1. I'm trying not to do like recency bias. Like that's because I think we do that a lot, which is like, oh my God. And then something that's like on the bottom of the list works its way to top 10. But this is fucked.
Yeah. I love the this may serve to hide its the X cost can be any amount of mana, even 0. It serves to hide the true casting cost of the creature. I love it.
It's number 1. Executive decision.
Oh my God, I've done it.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
It's the fact that it doesn't technically fucking work. It's the fact that they were like, it's a 0/1, and now it's a 2/2.
And it's Morphin Alpha.
The Morphin Alpha, they eventually did the fucking Vaseline print with cropped in Vaseline for 30th as well.
Why did they crop in so hard as well? Because they didn't cut the signature off. They cropped in on camouflage to cut off the signature.
I don't know.
Amy's
30th was fucking ass. And then but also the fact that it went through like 5 printings before they were like, wait, this doesn't work. this doesn't make sense. I think it's number 1. I think camouflage is incredible, but I think like it wasn't until 30th where they were like, oh yeah, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Whereas Illusionary's Mask is just absolute monstrosity. Don't play this in Commander ever.
I am going to play this in Commander. Shout out Amy Weber as well for doing 2 of my favourite cards, Homerid Shaman and Skeleton Ship.
So this is an event. There's a new number 1 in the Sicko Zone Hall of Fame.
That don't happen every day, does it?
No, it's been a while actually. It's been a very long time. I should zoom in more.
We have been like teasing. We've been like, top 5, top 10.
I think I think the picks are getting strong.
Is this my highest? What's my second Sentinel? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You usually bring some duds. No, I'm joking. But, no, this is by far. It's up there. Dang, holy shit. Cool. So, Illusory Mask in brackets, all of it. Is our new number 1 in the Sicko Zone Hall of Fame. A new leader.
Hell
new
yeah.
Winner.
Can anything beat that? I mean, we didn't think anything would beat Elvish Bard.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, this is hard. I think now it's like, if you're breaking like top 5, I think Amnesia might be too high, but
I think Amnesia is too high. You were very happy with that. I wasn't expecting it to go as well.
That's a discussion we can have for another day. I think if you're breaking like top 5, maybe even now like top 10,
top 10's hard.
Yeah, that's a banger, and then it's just really hard to like get through there. I do want to see some more like newer card representation, but I think a lot of the newer cards are safe.
Yeah.
There's some weirdos in Modern Horizons 3. But yeah, so Illusionary Mask is our new number 1 in the Sicko Zone Hall of Fame. It is pushed down Camouflage, 30th anniversary, Amulet of Quaz, Elvish Bard Alliances Art, and Amnesia Nut, all in our top 5. But yeah, well done. That is blown away. I literally was like, is it better than Camouflage? I was like, I don't know, but I think it is. Looking at Camouflage again and just remembering like the kind of history of it and then why we put it in number 1, I think Illusionary Mask does all of that, but better.
Yeah,
so that's probably why.
It really encapsulates the meaning of, the Sicko Zone Hall of Fame, the spirit of the Sicko Zone.
It's cool.
Now I need to get my hands on one.
Yeah, you should buy one. Not that. It's pretty expensive. You can get one for $34.
They're cheaper in Europe.
You can get a collector's edition. Did you know? Only 25% of you are subscribed. Please subscribe.
Thank you to the new subscribers.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of a jump, but we thought with the gameplay, which if you haven't watched yet, and you're still listening to this, I'm sorry, we just fucking spoiled the entire episode.
Go watch it anyway, though.
Go watch it again, and then come back and watch this again, and then go back and watch that again. It would really help us out.
Yeah, go back and watch every episode as well. Go put it on repeat.
So please drop us a like and a subscribe. No gameplay next week, and then podcast in 2 weeks. That's gonna be the schedule we try and keep. But if Tom hits the edits hard, we can get out 2 gameplay a month. But I don't want to kill him.
It will kill me.
Yeah, it'll kill anyone for sure.
I'm on Brazen Coalition Games on Sunday doing I think it's Chaos. I don't know. They've got me on twice in a row. It's crazy.
So you're doing Chaos this week, and then
it's Pauper tomorrow night. But that'll be last weekend for people listening, and then this following Sunday I'm on.
There we go.
I think it's just a normal game. Probably playing Leonardo da Vinci. So if you want to go and see that, go check that out.
Awesome. Cool. I'm so tired. I need to eat food.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Done that.
Go follow us on all socials down below, and play some Magic. Play some Beyblade.
Go outside, touch some grass, get some fresh air, go for a walk. Cool. This has been episode 27 of Magic Castles Podcast. Thank you for listening.